So there we have it. The British and Irish Lions lose their first tour game, and they're gutted, as they should be. They're absolutely distraught they lost. First chance in a Lions shirt to make a statement for the tour, for the players, to try and get in the test team, which is what they want to do. And they lose. But you have to say that Argentina were well worth this win, 24-28, and they were excellent. They're going to be delighted. The last time they played 20 years ago, it was 25-all, and this time they get the win. So not the way that the Lions would want to start, but in some ways it can be quite good because it does highlight a lot of things they need to work on. Let's go through the different pieces. The scrum was pretty good. Definitely, Beelum had a good start. We'll go through some players in a minute. I'm not going to give scores at the moment because I'm just fresh off this live stream. But certainly scrum looked very good. The maul, when it got going, looked pretty decent. Could the Lions have played their power game a bit more? I think so, because they did make a few good breaks. But certainly in attack, they probably overcomplicated it a bit. It's hard when you've been training a certain way to move the ball and you want to impress the coaches, so they were clearly trying to flip the ball, trying to get those offloads, but absolutely they forced it at times when they were in good positions. They threw it away a bit. They also kicked away a couple of times. Smith kicked away one bad one. Freeman kicked away a bad one. They spilled the ball a bit, so they're going to be really annoyed that they didn't capitalise on some good positions. You know, they did have a yellow card. They won the penalty count, to be fair, so that wasn't a problem. The defence individual tackles were pretty good, but they definitely got out of shape sometimes, and Argentina picked them off fantastically well. Some amazing breakaway tries. The likes of Carreras, Mendy, Albanos, really, really good. So, you know, they definitely made their defensive lapses pay. Line out needs some work. They lost quite a few line outs. One right at the end there in a scoring position, didn't even jump. It's a scratch team, is going to happen, but definitely a lot of work needed in the line-out. So let's have a little look at the team and appraise the players, because they're going to want to impress Andy Farrell, and some of them didn't have their best games. They probably will have better games. It's not all over, but first impressions do count. Let's start in the pack. I thought Gench had a really good game. The scrummaging was good, and he got a couple of his massive carries at times, and he's going to be disappointed, or the Lions will be disappointed. They didn't capitalise on a couple of his massive busts. And then Schoeman came on, really strong in the scrum, direct. You know, he's not going to make the massive breaks that Gench does, but he looked incredibly strong as well. They're a lot bigger as well. So Gench and Schoeman, I thought, did themselves a world of good. The hookers, maybe struggling a bit because the line-out coordination wasn't there, but neither looked amazing. Kelleher didn't come on and completely turn around the line-out. Cowan Dickey was okay, nearly scored a breakaway try, which probably would have, put him up a little bit. But hookers, certainly didn't put pressure on Sheehan, being the number one, that's for sure. I thought Finlay Beelum showed up really well in the scrum. Good work. Furlong came on and actually looked pretty decent, but had to go off at the end. Gutted there for an HIA. Second rows were okay. Atoje and Byrne, all right. Byrne made a bad mistake at the air with a neck roll. Atoje, did some good bits and pieces. Cummins came on, didn't really catch the eye, so okay for the second rows. Tom Curry, I thought, had a really good match. Some really strong work, some big carries, some big tackles, a few good offloads as well, some tip-ons. So I think he did well. It wasn't a balanced back row. We knew that. Morgan, not his best game. He's going to have a lot better. Got the ball out wide a couple of times and went into touch once and got tackled really well once. Got a couple of good jackals, but not really his game. And Pollock came on, missed a bad tackle, but did do a few nice things, but he's not going to be smashing guys back. Did rip the ball once, did make one nice break. So showed a bit what he can do, but again, not completely eye-catching. And Earl carried very well, I thought, explosive, but the balance wasn't quite there, to be fair. Into the backs, and I thought that Alex Mitchell had an excellent game. I really liked his speed to the ruck. He got the ball away. I thought his kicks were on the money. Looked very positive. Thomas Williams came on, didn't really make it happen. The game kind of broke up. It was a bit bitty. They couldn't quite get the coordination going. He was okay, but I think Mitchell gets the big thumbs up there. Finn Smith played the whole game and I thought looked really good, actually. Very assured, some really good kicking, some nice tackles. And the attack did flow fairly well at times, but as a whole, I thought they overplayed because they had Aki and Tuipulotu in the centres who didn't do a huge amount because they were literally just flipping offloads and balls out the back everywhere. And when you've got players like that, you want them just smashing the ball up to start with and then play a bit off them, and they just didn't do that. Daly came on, I thought did pretty well in the centres. Freeman, Not his best game. I mean, he tried super hard, but he lost a lot of balls in the air. Some of them were 50-50, so sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Dropped one cold on a counter-attack at the end, which they really needed, so he'll play better, but he definitely didn't put his best foot forward here. Van der Merwe certainly ran the ball fairly well, although did drop the ball presenting, which led to a try, so not perfect, but okay. Got some ice on his ankle at the end there, so not great. Hansen came on and looked pretty tidy. And then Marcus Smith at fullback. I mean, they could have put Daly there, I guess, but he's the only fullback at the moment, and his fullback skills, not that great. High ball, he struggled. When he counter-attacked, he definitely ran up a couple of blind alleys, but he is a fly half playing 15, and I think it kind of showed if you need him in an emergency, okay, but he's probably not the man to start at 15. Did spread the ball wide quite nicely a couple of times, but not the best game for him. So on the whole, okay, a couple of standouts. You know, the front rows, as in the props, I thought looked pretty good. I thought Curry looked pretty good. But on the whole, not the best game for a lot of people. They'll be frustrated. Argentina, I thought they were absolutely fantastic. To come up against some of the best from 4 big nations is a big ask. Yes, the British and Irish Lions hadn't been together for that long, but Argentina hadn't trained together for months as well. So fair play, Argentina. The Lions, they need to improve, and in some ways, that makes the tour very exciting indeed. Let me know what you think of that game. And also, just to let you know, we do have the massive discount on the home testosterone testing kits, 45% off, which is pretty good with RugbyAnalyst 45 if you want to get that tested at home. Anyway, guys, get stuck into those comments, and I will catch you next time.